Let me consider challenges in multi-level voltage scaling in this lecture. As we all know, normally when we work with any circuit, normally we are used to apply a single supply voltage. Talking of multi-level voltage scaling, where we'll be dividing the total system into some n number of subsystem, and each subsystem will be applied with a different supply voltage. Therefore, in order to implement this multi-level voltage scaling, maybe with respect to standard cell design or with respect to gate array design, we need to have the existence of multiple libraries, and each library is optimized with respect to single supply voltage. Okay. Therefore, definitely this will pose a challenge on the engineer who is going to work on this multi-level voltage scaling. Therefore, in this lecture, let me talk of some of the challenges that are going to be faced by design engineers. Okay, and here I am going to list out some 7. First one, voltage scaling interfaces, and the next one, converter placement, and the next one, flow planning, routing and placement, static timing analysis, power up and power down sequencing, clock distribution, low voltage swing. Let me consider one by one in a detailed manner. First, let me start with the voltage scaling interfaces. Fine. Whenever we talk of interface is nothing but a connection between two different things. Fine. It can be medium or it can be domains, whatever it may be. Therefore, whenever we talk of an interface, interface is nothing but a connection which is going to connect one different thing to another different thing, so that this interface is said to be compatible to both domains. Okay. And here, what is the requirement of having an interface with respect to multi-level voltage scaling means? And here we have, let me talk of 2 supply voltages. Therefore, some components are operated at high supply voltage and some components are operated at VDD low supply voltage. Fine. Therefore, definitely there will be a problem whenever we are going to connect the output of one domain circuit to the input of another domain circuit. Let me tell you how this is going to affect. First, let me talk of a signal going from low VDD domain to high VDD domain. Let me consider an example. Let me consider an example where the signal is going from low VDD domain to high VDD domain. Therefore, try to think of a inverter, and this inverter is operated at low supply voltage, and this inverter is operated at high supply voltage. Let me give some values for this one. Let VDD-H be some 5 volts for example, and let VDD-L be 3 volts. Fine. Therefore, if you are going to apply a logic 0 input, and this 0 will be inverted and seen as 1, but the 1 with respect to VDD-L domain is 3 volts. Now this 3 volts, logic 1 is applied as the input to your another CMOS inverter which is operated at high supply voltage, but this 3 can be neither considered as logic 0 nor considered as logic 1. Therefore, for this intermediate 3 volts, fine, both pull up and pull down transistors will be in on condition, which is going to provide a short circuit current between VDD and VSS rail. Therefore, whenever you are going to connect the output of low VDD domain to the input of high VDD domain, definitely there is a chance for short circuit current which will introduce short circuit power dissipation. Fine. Therefore, this is the limitation with respect to connecting the output of low VDD domain to high VDD domain. Therefore, a high level output from the low VDD domain has an output VDD-L which may turn on both NMOS and PMOS transistors of the high VDD domain inverter, resulting in a short circuit between a VDD-H and ground. Therefore, there is a requirement of interface fine, which is going to avoid this short circuit power dissipation, and even this converter has to reduce the rise time and fall time of the signal that is going to be applied to high VDD domain. Why? Because short circuit power dissipation is directly proportional to the rise time and fall times, and that's why you are supposed to insert some buffers in order to reduce rise time and fall time. Fine. Therefore, even the insertion of buffers is required even from high uh, domain connection to low voltage domain. Now what happens if a high voltage domain output is connected as the input to a low domain input means, and here a 5 volts output will be applied as the logic 1 to the low voltage domain, which will turn the transistors heavily into conduction, because of which we may expect high static currents. Therefore, either way it is said to be a problem. Therefore, we need to have a converter between two domains in order to avoid these high static currents as well as short circuit power dissipation. Now, let me first talk of high to low level converter. Okay. And what is the purpose of this high to low level converter means? It has to provide a clean signal having a desired voltage swing, that means with respect to the low level domain, and it needs to have lesser rise times as well as fall times in order to reduce the short circuit power dissipation. Fine. Without a level converter, the voltage swing of the signal may reach to 0 to VDDH, and with the level converter your swing should be reduced to 0 to VDDL, and because of which there will be higher switching power dissipation, and as VDD is increased, even there will be high leakage power dissipation as well. Fine. Therefore, in order to avoid this one, and one more point, the longer wire length between the voltage domains, the rise and fall time may be long, leading to increase in short circuit power dissipation. Therefore, whenever you are going to connect the output from one VDD domain to another VDD domain, if at all there is any lengthier interconnection, definitely that is going to increase the rise and fall times. Definitely that will increase the short circuit power dissipation. Fine. Therefore, this high to low level converter has to avoid all these limitations. Therefore, normally a high to low level converter is essentially two inverter stages in cascade. As two inverters are connected in cascade, definitely the input will be equal to output. Therefore, this circuit will simply act as a buffer. Therefore, simply it's going to introduce some delay. Let me show you the circuit. And the logic symbol of high to low level converter is this one. Fine. And here a box is given, and within which we a triangle and some sort of conversion from one level to another level, and that is indicated with an arrow. Now let me talk of the inputs and outputs. In this high to low level converter, the input is coming from high voltage domain. Therefore, the input is represented with INH. Here H doesn't indicate logic 1, rather it's going to indicate the input is from high voltage domain. Similarly, the output has to be applied to low VDD domain. Therefore, it is notated with out L. Here L doesn't indicate low logic level, rather this is the output that has to be connected to low VDD domain. And this circuit uses low domain supply voltage, and that's why this is given with low domain supply voltage VDDL. Now let me talk of the circuit, and this is nothing but two inverters that are in cascaded connection. Therefore, the input is INH and the output is out L. And here I don't talk of your logic 0 case. Why? Because logic 0 will be same for high VDD domain as well as low VDD domain. Definitely that is not going to pose a problem. Fine. Therefore, now let me talk of your logic 1. Fine. Therefore, here we are going to get a logic 1. Therefore, try to go with the application of logic 1. And here this logic 1, as it is from high VDD domain, it's going to be 5 volts. Therefore, for the application of this 5 volts, this transistor will be in on condition and this transistor will be in off condition. Therefore, this is going to have 0 here, and this 0 is applied to this inverter again, which will drive this transistor into on condition and the pull down transistor into off condition. Therefore, the output node charges to a VDDL. Therefore, the output node is going to charge up to a value of only VDDL. Why? Because the power supply is given as VDDL. Therefore, at the output, we are able to get either 3 volts or 3.5 volts. That's how we are able to convert 5 volts into 3 volts, nothing but high VDD domain voltage into low VDD domain. Of course, if you are going to apply a 0 here, this transistor will be non-condition, and here you are able to get 3 volts, which will drive these two transistors into on condition. Fine. But don't worry, we are going to have short circuit power dissipation only for this inverter stage. But after converting that into 3 volts, this will be applied to all the components that are going to be there in low voltage, low VDD domain. Therefore, we are going to reduce the short circuit power dissipation of all other circuits which are connected in low VDD domain. That's when we are going to sacrifice a small amount with respect to this particular converter. Fine, that's all about high to low voltage level converter realization. Now let me talk of low to high level converter. Even this is required as well, and this is going to be connected in dual cascode voltage switch logic. In short, we can write it as a DC VSL. And here driving logic signals from a low voltage domain to high voltage domain degrades the operation of this circuit. First, let me talk of this symbol. It's going to be the same symbol. We'll be using the same symbol. The only difference is the inputs and outputs are going to differ. Here the input is going to be from low VDD domain, and that's why we have indicated the input as INL, and the output has to be connected to high VDD domain. That's why that is indicated with out H. Fine. In contrast to high to low level converter, this circuit uses both the supplies. That's why they are given with both VDDL and VDDH. Now let me talk of the realization of this low to high level converter. Fine. And here almost these two circuits seems to be inverters, but the only difference is here we have cross coupling. Fine. And that's why this sort of implementation is called as a dual cascode voltage switch logic. Here at the input side we have two inverters that are in cascade, and here these two inverters are applied with low supply voltage, and this switch logic is connected to high supply voltage. Fine. And at the output side we have an inverter as well, which has been connected to high VDD domain supply voltage. Now let me go with the application of logic 0. Because of logic 0, here we are able to get 1, and here we are going to get 0. This 0 will turn this transistor into off condition, F for off condition, and this 1 will drive this M into on condition, take it as on, N for on. Therefore this node will be discharged to 0. Therefore here you are going to get 0. This 0 is going to be applied to M4. Therefore M4 will be in on condition. As M4 is in on condition, here you are able to get high voltage, and the same high voltage has been converted into logic 0. And as this transistor is in off condition, here we have high voltage, and this high voltage is applied to M3 transistor, which will drive this transistor into off condition, and therefore this node won't be charged to VDDH. Therefore for logic 0 we are able to get logic 0. Now let me talk with respect to the application of logic 1, and here logic 1 is applied, and here you are going to have a logic 0 and a logic 1 here, and this 0 is applied to this M1 transistor, which will make this transistor to go into off condition, and this 1 will drive this M2 into on condition. Fine, I have excluded O, that's why I take F for off condition and N for on condition. As this transistor is in on condition, here we are going to have 0. Fine, this 0 is going to be inverted and seen as logic 1. As this is connected to VDDH, you are going to get logic 1 as high value, that is VDD high domain value. And here as we have 0, and this 0 is connected to this M3 transistor, which will drive this M3 into on condition, because of which this node will be charged to VDD H if it's going to be logic 1, and this logic 1 is applied to M4 transistor, which will make this transistor to go into off condition. Therefore, this output node never reaches to logic 1 for the application of logic 1. Therefore, for the application of logic 1, we are able to get logic 1, but here input is applied as 3 volts, but here you are going to get it as 5 volts. And that's how the circuit is going to operate. Fine. And the operation of this circuit with respect to on and off conditions of the transistor has been shown in this table. You can check out the same. Therefore, two inverters operating in the low voltage domain provide inputs to two NMOS transistors that form the differential inputs. And this circuit requires both VDD-L and VDD-H supply voltages. And the low to high level converters introduce considerable larger delay. Why? Because we have some almost 5 number of inverters. Fine. And that is the limitation with respect to low to high level converter. And that's all about your interfaces. Let me take up another challenge. A converter placement. Fine. Already the designers might have designed a converter which is supposed to be connected between one VDD domain to another VDD domain. Now another challenge is going to come into existence, that is where to place this converter. For example, if I am going to talk of high to low level converter, whether we need to place this converter in high VDD domain or in low VDD domain. Similarly, if you are going to consider low to high converter, whether it needs to be placed in low VDD domain or high VDD domain. Fine. Therefore, the designers must have investigated a lot. Fine. And the general custom with which they are going to place the converter is to place them at the receiving side. Fine. Therefore, let me talk with respect to high to low level converters. And here the transmission side is going to be from high domain side, and the reception side is from the low VDD domain side. Therefore, the reception is from low VDD domain. Therefore, better to place high to low level converter in a low VDD domain. Why you are supposed to place in the low VDD domain? Let me tell you of this thing. Try to consider. Let this total area be of high VDD domain. Why? Because here it is indicated with 0.15 volts, and this is your low voltage domain. Why? Because this is supplied with a voltage of 1.5 volts, and here we are going to have a connection from a high VDD domain to low VDD domain input. Now you need to place this converter in between these two domains. Therefore, the converter placement is with respect to domains. The better thing is to go with the destination side, and that's why this converter has been placed in this destination side. Therefore, the output of this circuit will be given as the input to this converter, and the resulted output will be applied to the another part of the circuit. Now let me tell you why we are not supposed to connect this converter in high VDD domain. Now think that if you are going to connect this in high VDD domain, let this be your converter. What is the supply voltage that has to be applied to high to low level converter? It simply uses VDD-L. But if you are going to place this in high VDD domain, definitely you need to have an extra connection from this low VDD domain to this converter in order to apply a VDD-L to the converter VDD value. Fine. Therefore, if you are going to place this in the destination side, we can avoid the routing of the low VDD supply rail from the low VDD domain to the high VDD domain. If you are going to eliminate that extra connection, definitely this will improve the rise and fall time of the signals in low VDD domain, and that is the advantage we are going to get if you are going to place the high to low level converter in the destination side. Now let me talk of low to high level converter, and the general custom is to place that in the receiving domain. but it doesn't matter with respect to this low to high level converter. Why? Because it uses both the supply voltages. Therefore, in either way, definitely you are supposed to pull a connection from one domain to another domain. Why? Because the converter uses both the supply voltages. Fine. Therefore, it requires routing of the low VDD supply rail to the high VDD domain. Let me talk of this one. As this is low to high level converter, here this area corresponds to low voltage and this corresponds to high voltage domain. Therefore, if you are going to place this in the receiving side, as it uses two different supplies, definitely one connection has to be made from low VDD domain to high VDD domain. It doesn't matter even if you are going to place your converter here as well. Why? Because here we have the application of VDDH, VDDL. Definitely you need to route your VDDH to this side. Therefore, in either case, one of the supply rails needs to be routed from one domain to the other domain. Therefore, definitely the placement of low to high level converter is not going to pose a problem wherever you are going to connect this one. Fine. Therefore, in this given example, a routing of the low VDD supply rail to the high VDD domain. Fine. And I'll continue the other challenges in the next lecture.